I had to obviously not play this video because YouTube, they only allow certain people to report on this and other people's not to. And I guess I'm that other people because I'm, who knows, wrong skin color, something. But this is where I think, dare I say, a turning point may occur. Now, last week, of course, we knew about Cannon Hinnant being executed, essentially, by his next door neighbor for traveling on his lawn. We think. We don't know yet, but I guess that's what that's the theory behind why he did that. Who knows? Or dare I say the motive, like it really matters at this point. And do you remember back in, it was like last month, right after the Rayshard Brooks interaction with the police, or the wrong interaction. Well, after that, there was an 8-year-old girl in the back seat of a car that was killed because BLM and those douchebags decided to shoot into that car because they were going in the area where that burnt down Wendy's was. And yet and still, we have not seen a backlash to that yet. We haven't seen the good common people of this United States, all races and creeds and colors and all other stuff, actually stand up to this bullcrap that's going on and actually push back. I don't see it happening anytime soon, unfortunately. As is in this story, BLM mob beats a white man unconscious after making him crash truck. The video, and you can see it. He was beaten down pretty hard. As you can see in the upper corner up here, you see him. They robbed him, they beat him, and he was unconscious. He could have died until... But the story behind it was that he tried to save 2 women. I guess one was transgendered. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. But that tells you the whole story behind the BLM mob. They don't care about the Western way of life or the Western way how families structure themselves. They don't really care about that in their, and I've done a video on this, their mission statement. These people here may be loosely associated with the BLM in and of itself. But here's what we have. My point of talking about this is that I wish, and you see the thing is that I say I wish, but I stand back from this from 2 continents away. I live in South America right now, and I've been watching all this stuff happening, and I'm not involved in it other than me sort of giving my opinion about it. But here's what we got. This guy he shouldn't have got out of his car. That's the thing. And why were you, maybe he was coming back from work. Why the hell were you out? This is crazy. People are worried about going down the wrong street and then getting pulled out of the car and beaten because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is insane. Let's go over the story real quick. New York Post is always good to give the other side of the opinion instead of the leftist narrative. Or this guy getting his ass kicked and being beat down and unconscious, that's just a mostly peaceful protest that happened, right? Mostly peaceful beat down until you're unconscious, right? I guess so. So the mob of Portland Black Lives Matter protesters, and that's loosely being reported, forced a white man to crash his truck, then punched and kicked him unconscious, disturbing footage shows. A series of clips on social media shows the victim being surrounded in his white Ford truck at 10:30 p.m. Sunday as others attacked a woman he was with, who was punched and even tackled to the ground. I saw that too. That was disgusting. He didn't do nothing, someone could be heard calling out as others punched the driver as he sat in his truck as he repeatedly being kicked. The unidentified driver eventually sped off with the mob chasing him, with some heard loudly laughing when he crashed into a tree and then a building, according to the clips. He was dragged from his truck, tackled to the ground as he begged for help. As you can see him right there. Getting repeatedly punched as he tried to call his wife, pleading with his attackers as he sat on the ground in the video show. I ain't trying to hurt no one, he told him, with the only unexplained accusation heard in the clips that being COVID is real. What the frick? I was trying to get away. Get out of the way, he insisted, crashing the truck as several of the group punched him in the face, repeatedly called the white driver the N-word. Yeah, that's always good because, dropping N-bombs, and it doesn't matter what context nowadays, you shouldn't do it, but apparently people have sort of carte blanche when they can do it. I can't do it, and I wouldn't do it. As the mob dispersed to watch another fight, the main offender circled back around, kicking the defenseless driver in the face from behind, instantly knocking him out with his head cracking on the road. What the F is you talking about, N-word? The attacker, wearing a shirt with security on the front and back, screamed after the thud of the victim's head hitting the ground. The victim was shown then bleeding from a large wound in the back of his head as he appeared unconscious throughout the almost 2.5-minute clip. The woman was shown sobbing nearby as the mob held her back and appeared to rifle through his truck. Oh, of course. I mean, Black Lives Matter. Let's steal some crap because reasons. Black Lives Matter, N-word, one man continually ranted as other people checked the victim was still alive. Even as he remained unconscious, a woman was heard taunting him, "Get your bitch ass up." Police in riot gear had to assist ambulance crews helping him as they were confronted by a hostile crowd, Portland police said in a release. The victim was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries, police said, quoting, "The incident is under investigation." Yeah, right. And no arrests have been made. Even if they were, they're going to let him go and drop the charges because Portland is a piece of shithole. It's a crap hole. It's a frickin' cesspool. It's a goddamn void. Avoid it at all costs. It was unclear what sparked the confrontation, but some witnesses tweeted that he had tried to intervene in an altercation between the mob and another person. And I think that was that transgendered woman. Or man, I don't even know how you describe it. Continuing on. Police said that the protesters were chasing the truck before it crashed, and they assaulted the driver after the crash. Colleen D. Almeida, the co-founder for Subscriber News, looks like, who shared one of the videos, tweeted, "A man accused of trying to run over protesters crashed his vehicle. BLM and Antifa militants then pull him from his car and violently assault him." He claimed that it was specifically a militant hashtag BLM group that left the hashtag BLM protest to intentionally incite violence tonight. Right. The incident came days after Seattle BLM members marched through gentrified neighborhoods. I'm going to do another story on that here later. And demanded white people give up their homes. Yeah. It's not about just justice. It's about, you know what it is. And it came after a day after Portland officials once again declared riots as mobs once again brought violence while claiming to protest the death of George Floyd. That whole narrative out the window, as they have done nightly for almost 2 months. 2 cops were hospitalized overnight Saturday after protests hurled a 10-pound rock at them during the 79th night of clashes in the City of Roses, according to reports. Which is interesting to note here, is that the City of Roses, the City of Rocks. But that's just, the way it is, apparently, in Portland, is you want to get Donald Trump reelected, and hopefully he does, this is how you do it. Keep beating people that have nothing to do with your cause, pulling them from their vehicles and beating them down, because that makes a lot of sense. Because all you do is embolden my views, like myself, all you do is embolden my views. Why should I support the BLM? Why? At first, I'm like, yeah, I could see some of the small portions of the tenets of their movement. I'm like, yeah, police reform. Yeah, I get it. Now, I'm 100% behind the police. Now, as I say that, I mean that I'm 100% behind the good police who rat out the bad police, which doesn't happen very often. Having a good police force that does not violate the constitutional rights of its citizens is what we need. What we don't need is a violent, disgusting, filthy, goddamn pieces of shit BLM, mobs, and Antifa rolling the countryside and within the city, promoting their, dare I say, their unique way of, protesting and, dare I say, getting the word out. These motherfuckers should be ashamed of themselves. But you know what? They're not nor will they ever be.